Greetings, my fellow divine co-creative celestial beings of the now, or an Australian g'day. Welcome to Planet Collingwood for another week. My name is Monty Dean. Winter has turned up and it's cold. Tonight's show is brought to you by Q-Heal at q-.com. If you're in Melbourne and Sydney, go see Paul for some hypnotherapy or QHHT. Which is created by Dolores Cannon over the last 40 years before she transitioned to another frequency. I did it, and it's cool. I'm still feeling the ramifications. Basically, you allow your higher self or whatever you want to call it come through, and interesting conversation. Because you write out the questions beforehand and then bang. Yes, you hear what you're supposed to hear, which is good because it's you. You're talking to yourself, even if you disagree with yourself. But I didn't. It was fascinating. Anyway, big thank you to Tony / why not for the Y-Files and Co. If you enjoyed the last 2 hours, please go to freedomslips.com and donate what you can. Click on the Patreon button, $5, $10, $17,000, whatever your choice, so we can continue having Revolution Radio on air for Studio A and B. We're 100% listener supported, 100% volunteer, and 100% Revolution Radio. I just like saying it that way. Also, once you've donated, pop into the Zazzle store, buy some T-shirts. It's apparently summer in the Northern Hemisphere. Some people are saying it's still cold. It's cold here. Mind you, I'm further away from the sun at the moment. So, yeah, there we go. And then pop into the chat room and hang out with like-minded, like-hearted, just liked people. Dare I say loved. This is Planet Collingwood, and here's some 2 guests I prepared earlier. We've been joined by our Sydney correspondent, Cortek. How are you, my friend?
Hello, good, thanks.
Yeah, all good. Yeah, right. Yeah, nice. Yeah, all right. We're doing Australian accents today. We're doing the bored bus driver. Yeah, I'm fine. Get on the bus. And also Eagle Eye, who apparently has gone to bed and mistook the studio as his bedroom. How are you, sir?
Hello, sir. Accents, huh? Okay.
Well, it's just I mean, I've got other things to talk about. Just it's a comedy show, so I may slip into Scottish just for a moment, if I may.
Let me just say, it's been a tough 2 weeks being a political comedian lately, shall we say?
Yes and no. If you have an audience, maybe. I don't. So, I kid. I've got tens of people watching it, listening and watching, because this will be going up on YouTube. Like, subscribe, and share. And if you feel inclined, please go to the actual page of Wafer Thin Entertainment and click on the Patreon button. I have to pay rent, yo. I'm broadcasting from Hellbourne, Australia, or Victoria, and it's looking a little bit kind of lockdown-ish.
What's going on?
Apparently the government allowed someone from South Australia, nothing wrong with South Australia, but someone with got tested, didn't turn out positive, and then walked around Melbourne for about 9 days, and now everyone's freaking out because he does have said virus that is from the pandemic that's causing the lockdown. Yeah,
there's a lot of freaking out. There's not a lot of talk about numbers these days. I mean, really, how long are we going to try and keep this going? It's ridiculous.
It's 9 or 11 cases, and everyone's freaking out. So now apparently you can only have 5 people over to your house per day. Inside public events, only up to 30 people, and you have to wear what are they called? Face diapers? No, masks. You have to wear masks inside now, and this is just the start. And it started yesterday at 6 p.m. local time, and it's going to June 4th. So it's about 10 days of
ridiculousness.
Yeah, and it's just after 18 months, it's like, I see the government's playing the fear card again.
It's getting a little old, isn't it?
No. There's a slight variation because now they can say everyone should get vaccinated. I'm like, no.
Now we've actually got something. No thanks. I don't want my arm to act like a magnet. Have you seen those videos? I don't know. More people aren't. I mean, have you seen them? That the magnet stuff. I mean, it's only if you win the lucky dip. There's probably...
yeah, if you get the vaccine with full of the heavy metals.
But
yeah,
there's
I'm not talking
there's
Slayer or Creator.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's a lot of people claiming that that's happened. A lot of testing, a lot of data coming in.
Yes, yeah, and video footage, which is a French way of saying footage, which is actually from the old school movie parlance, if that's the right word. I've been doing the audiobook and I'm learning words, and I don't know if I'm using them correctly. Anyway, footage is referencing to how long a bit of film is, like it's 8 foot or 10 foot, and that's where you get footage, even though it's digital, where it's all ones and zeros.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. So we saw, well, some people are in panic mode. I, on the other hand, are just going about my life freely because life of a hermit. Like, I thought, save humanity. And it's like, we're going to make everyone equal. Apparently they chose me and no business, unemployed, and won't leave the house. Does that sound like your local community? We had also today, I actually drove Mum to the hospital. She had to get a scan on her kidney, and she's having a biopsy. And this is where I realized I really shouldn't give out family medical things. So, we're leaning towards the positive because it could be benign. However, it's Western medicine. We have to find out, so we'll have to cut you. All right then. Calm down, Charlie.
We can't fix you, but we can tell you exactly how sick you are.
yeah. Take these, and these. Thank you, doctor. Oh, I'm not a doctor. Simpson quote. Yes. I am the lizard queen.
The B is for Barger.
Yes. I used to play DJ at heavy metal nightclubs and would play Killing in the Name Of by Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah.
And I would put little samples in a couple of tracks, and one of them was Dr. Nick at the start of that. Just like, hi, everybody.
Nice.
Down. So what else is going on? So there is, it's the, we live in a placebo universe. Bashar, not the leader of Syria. Life is meaningless until you give it meaning. And everything is a reflection of your consciousness. And so what you see on the perceived outside is a mirror, not a complete mirror image, but it's a reflection of your inner. And from my story about my mum, how did everyone react to that? Like, oh, it's all negative. Like, no. Until we find out it is. But it's not.
Yeah, you don't need to get in hysterics over everything until you know the facts.
Yeah. David Icke points it out where, people will book a dentist appointment 3 weeks ahead and spend that 3 weeks panicking, anxiety, hot flushes, and just worry. And then the dentist said, no, you're fine. So why did you waste all that energy for 3 weeks?
I saw a good meme during the week. I'll kind of describe it to you. It's the Matrix set kind of thing with the little kid and the spoon, and the kids going, "Do not try to teach the Karens the lockdown was a mistake. That's impossible. Instead, only try to realize the truth." And then Keanu goes, "What truth?" And then the kid goes, "That the lockdown has turned fear into a virtue. Those who are afraid to believe they're better people than those who aren't. Those who are afraid believe they're better people than those who aren't, and will subconsciously look for ways to multiply that fear because it's their virtue."
How big was this picture? That's a lot of words.
It's portrait.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, because I would if I was good at Photoshop. I'm not yet. I do have GIMP, the application on the computer, not
the person in your basement.
Yeah, not a full-grown man in rubber in the basement going, "You're bastard." I would sit like there is no Karen.
Touché.
Yes. And so, fun time. We are in. May you live in interesting times. If I find Confucius, I don't know if he said it or not. I'm going to punch him.
You go exhume him and punch him if you really want to. I don't think it'd go down too well.
No. The Chinese may mention
it. What a peace-loving piece.
They'll bring it up. Yeah. Are you familiar with the wrestler John Cena?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, well, the professional wrestler from Sports Entertainment. He called Taiwan a country, and then he apologized for it, licking the boots of the Chinese.
Cripes. John Cena apologized for describing Taiwan as a country. Ouch.
Yeah, because that's the level we are at in 2021. It's like, Taiwan's a country. Oh, how dare you? You insult all my entire nation.
It's a little awkward. Is he American?
I like that red money. I better. John Cena's American, yeah.
Yeah, professional wrestler.
Yeah, I like that Chinese money, so I better apologize.
We want to take wrestling to China.
I think he's in one of the superhero films, and I'm getting to the point. I'm over superhero things. Like, I just watched Jupiter's Legacy.
Yeah, I saw that passing by. No good. Thumbs up. Two thumbs up. Two thumbs down. One thumb up. One thumb down.
I'll stick that thumb somewhere, my friend. It's worth seeing. You have no idea what the title's got to do with the story, but it's fascinating. But it's like, I have to learn the whole canon and the world, and another superhero story. But I heard Eagle Eye come on air because there was a slight buzz. So, how are you, my superhero?
Can I apologize for the buzz? Does that work?
No. You're not John Cena. How dare you?
He's the spokesperson for WWE there for a while. He was like the voice of the wrestler that kind of took off from the McMahon world there, and he was doing his own thing. I mean, John Cena was he's like his own, icon kind of a guy.
Yeah, and do you know why they changed their name from World Wrestling Federation to World Wrestling Entertainment?
Was it because that World Life Fund or something with the panda on it that's got the same anagram?
Yeah, they changed it because they didn't want to mix up with the World Wildlife Fund. However, there is a T-shirt with the panda. It has got a metal chair, and it's like, oh my god, he's got a chair. And I'm like, I want that T-shirt. WWF panda. Oh!
Is the buzz there? Is it gone now?
No, it's all right. It's
okay.
It's not 100% clean, but it's not annoying. It's just I know you want to talk because you're on mute, so it's a handy hint. Because Cortek and I will just spiral off and talk about cricket for 45 minutes.
Can we talk about cricket for 45 minutes now that you bring it up?
After Eagle Eye shares his, come on now.
Well, I was still back with hand and foot, but yeah. We are definitely feeling some different stuff at this time over here, this side of the water.
Well, yeah, America's special. It keeps proving that every day that America is very special. And I'm talking about the country, not the continent. Because I'm an old schooler. Where Brazil to me is in America, because I read a map. But it confuses everyone. Like, what? It's in South America, and South America is in America. Just get on the bus. All right.
But the wind comes from west to east. And does it make it all the way to you? Or are we getting your wind from your east to our west?
Or is the wind staying still and everyone else is just moving?
No, it was windy here yesterday.
Yeah.
So them winds are the winds of change. Well, actually, because you just reminded me, Eagle. Thank you very much, and I'm sure you'll be able to add to this. This week in energy, we have the super blood moon. You can tell because it's got a cape. Is turning. It's like either tonight or tomorrow night. Or it's in the next 24 hours or now. So everything's a bit. Nice. And the lead up to that was apparently the sun's gone. I've been glancing the Earth with these CMEs for a while now. It's like I'm gonna fix my aim and pop off 5 of them, and just slam, bang, 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 bang. And I think Jupiter's in the 17th house or something. There's all this stuff happening in a week, and like for those who follow energy, like Schumann resonance and astrology and everything else like that, it's like I'm not leaving the house for 7 days.
So how should that affect us, kind of thing? Do we know, or it's just going to send everything all over the place?
Yes. We know it's going to send everything all over the place because it's I think it's linked to real climate change because the sun and I feel like I'm starting to sing Yellow. Oh yeah, the sun and the moon. I think the moon's tethered to the Earth, but the Earth, all the planets, including Pluto, the 9 that we're aware of, just let's skip over the other 57 that we are not told about. They're tethered to the sun, which we're only told is one, but apparently there's another one. Isn't it great when you do research and your paradigms completely shift and you have to talk to someone like a bus driver? There's 66 planets. Nah, there's 9. All right, then I'll get on the bus. So that's the running gag for today's show, by the way.
On the bus. Why is it a blood moon?
Because it looks red.
Okay.
There's different names for different moons all throughout the year as well.
Yeah,
most of them are based on Cherokee stuff.
Yes, a harvest moon. Guess what happens for that? Because they didn't really have a timepiece. They just used that floating rock in the sky, and that's how month is from Muth. Moon. Yeah, many moons ago, many months ago. So, someone that hasn't been on Planet Collingwood for many moons. Aust Paul, are you there, my friend?
Aussie.
Well, his avatar's here. He's just fumbling for the.
He's muted. He's muted.
Yeah.
Cortek mentioned something earlier, Monty, about maybe we're standing still, right?
Yeah. We could be, but the thing is, there's too much weirdness going on. Oh, that's right. You asked a question about like how will it affect us? Oh, yeah, because the Earth magnetic sphere is taking a hit. Or is a little bit weaker at this point in time. The human resonance is like a frog on a sock and a fry pan on high, so it's bouncing around like nothing else. And the North Pole and the South Poles are going bipolar. Yeah, did you see what I did there? And they're traveling all over the side. Even like for 150 years, it was like I'm heading towards Canada, and then nope, I'm going to Siberia. I know this. I know someone there, and I want to say hello. As well as the sun as well. They believe it's a solar minimum.
And speaking of bipolar,
see, this is why I do the segues. There you go.
I missed you, my friend. Tripolar, okay.
My phone is definitely bipolar.
Well, hang on. You got God mode on your phone. You're coming in a bit hot. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, a bit muffled.
Bit hot.
Hopefully, yeah. Yes, that's working.
Yeah, that's a bit better. With the sun, it's got its weakened heliosphere, which is actually part of the protective shielding around the solar system. So that's weak. So we're also getting what's the scientific word? Crap coming in from outside the solar system. And so you've all got that. So when the sun's popping off its own energy, who knows if it's collecting stuff, but even if it was just a, dare I say, which is very impossible, normal scientific review, say something from the 20th century.
Yeah.
We're getting, I think it was 3 or 4 geomagnetic storms. And so when it hits our shield and scatters a bit, you know, the Ouroboros?
Aurora, no.
Yeah, the lights in the sky in the northern and southern hemisphere.
What is the name for it though? Aurora. I can't break it up.
For all of us.
No.
For all of us.
It's
the
from
Aurora Borealis.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I know. I like Eagle Eye. It reminds me of Asterix. It's a bore for all of us.
I'd like to see it.
That's not bored, but an actual type of swine. And so, yeah, those lights are actually the magnetic field. Space stuff is being filtered through the atmosphere, and that's where it gets all trippy, man. And so, with everything weakened down, when that stuff hits the Earth, it goes straight through the Earth because of its not dimensionality, but just the frequency and everything else like that, gamma rays. And we're not turning into the Hulk. However, it could be explaining a lot of things. It affects, even if it's on a basic level, the geomagnetic structure, like that is the Schumann resonance.
Schumann resonance roughly it used to be 7.8, but it keeps popping off up and down, which is the same level as the alpha wave in the brain. And so when like a full moon, you get the term lunatics because there's amped up geomagnetic, electromagnetic intensity, and people start getting a bit nutty.
Anyone who works in an emergency room will say there's increased rates of people coming in on a full moon, definitely.
Oh, yeah. Yep. There's more services, police, fire, hospitals, because everyone, they get a bit... And so that's going off. So now you add a blood moon where it's the placement around the planet where it's red because of, I think it's... I'm going to probably get this wrong, but I'm going to point out it's the red is actually the filtering of the sunlight for some reason. That's I was going so well.
In layman's terms, it's easy.
Mars dust.
Now it's too soft.
Now you're a bit quiet, Paul. Find a medium.
Oh, no, it's too soft. Oh, okay. Yeah, is that better?
That's great.
Yeah, so please explain. Why is it red in that, eh?
Okay, easy. It gets bounced off the rays of the. We've got different particles in our atmosphere. Mm-hmm. It's the ozone layer that really makes it. Oh, I know. One of the ozone layer particles actually help it refract into a red shape before it goes fully black and then goes back to normal after it gets past that transition period.
I'm glad we cleared all that up.
So like there's stuff in the way. So that's why there's a blood moon. So you've got all the full moon, the geomagnetics, the crap from the sun, because that's when the sun actually just spits out matter. It's fascinating. Like if you've seen a plasma, it looks like a rope, a filament or something like that, when that pops off as well. And for a while, like in the last 10 years, where it's like the sun's toying with us. It's like bam, just ahead of us, bam, just behind us. But lately it's like, nope, dead at center, bang, 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 bang. And you've got also the eclipse, which it's all energy and hippie man. So
it's all hippie.
I'm making slight fun of it because I know it's going to be intense for a lot of people. So just trying to if you're feeling like a mental breakdown, why is my panda doll talking to me and it's being sarcastic? You'll go back to it's all hippie, man, and hopefully you get a chuckle, and then stab the No. I retract that statement.
Just Monty's going to be locked up because he's going to be howling at the moon, ladies and gentlemen. So this is why he's saying.
And what else is going on is the animals are getting a little riled up. They're feeling it too.
Yeah, strangely enough, they live in the same biosphere that we do. And I was about to say, I won't be howling at the moon. I'll be shouting at my cat to shut up because she'll be going, I found something. It's like, yes, I know. You've been screaming, meowing for 17 minutes straight. Message received. Be quiet.
Bark at the moon.
Yeah. Think for that eagle. Like, my cat's that insane. She's barking now. You're supposed to meow. Oh. And I think the interesting enough, most of the eclipse will be seen from the Pacific Ocean and 2/3 of Australia. And if you're on the West Coast, aren't you, Eagle?
Sometimes, yeah, more to the Midwest. But yeah, what if dogs meowed and cats barked? Ooh, but what do you?
If it changed things a little bit.
Yeah.
26th of May, that's tonight. Lunar eclipse.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Midwest, Monty. But it's lighter on the West Coast.
Yeah, well, yeah. I should clarify this the question. When I say West Coast, I've just cut the United States in half. So Denver to me is on the West Coast. Hey, the right earthquake it could be.
The new capital.
This lunar eclipse is tonight, yeah?
I believe so, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. And
you
we
got
should be
the vortex. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I won't be seeing it. I'm not going outside. It's bloody cold.
Oh, come on.
Bloody moon, bloody cold.
Yeah, exactly. Did you see the bloody moon? No, I bloody did. It was bloody cold.
Good.
Unless, Paul, will you be venturing outside? Because I can see you standing around a 44-gallon drum on fire, and I'm going, yep, that's some good moon.
It doesn't happen every day, Monty.
Actually, if it's going to be clear, I will be outside with a telescope.
It looks super clear from where I'm sitting.
Hopefully the telescope is pointing up.
Obviously.
Yeah. Just checking. It's
a very high-powered, very tall, diameter proper one. And if you're trying to peer in someone's house, it doesn't really work that way because
what can
very,
you see?
very
What
large.
Can you see? Oh,
it's very large.
Yeah,
and it
there's a smudge on the back kitchen table.
Yeah, well, yeah, you shove it on the back of the four-wheel drive. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, we're already spying.
So yeah, you've got all that, and let's add the insane left with their false reality, as well as what's happening in most of the Western world. Have you noticed that as well, where the story finally broke in the liberal media, and I'm talking for outside of Australia, because our conservatives, some cheeky little, we're conservatives, so we'll call ourselves liberal. Everyone else, it's just not right. Oh, you're liberal-minded. Oh, you're conservative. No. Anyway.
Those labels don't work anymore. They haven't for some time.
No, no, they don't.
They want to put you in a box.
I like that. Yeah, that's good. See, more nasally. If you want to speak Australian, speak through the nose, so you keep your lips close together so the flies don't get in your mouth.
Okay. So they want to put you in a box. If you vote for this person, that's in your box. They want you in.
It's very South African. I like it. The fun part of a South African accent, and I mean no disrespect to the South Africans. There's one South African, she's very lovely. The trick is to put a full stop at the end of every word.
That is the trick. You have it. You have hit the nail right on the head.
Well done. Now, eh? Ah, yes, lethal weapon. So, and it's I love you make fun of Scottish accents. It's like, no, I'm not making fun of it. I love it so much that I have to say it. Also, my dad's mum is half Scottish, so there's actual DNA in it, and I think that's why I sound slightly like a Highlander.
That was not bad.
Yeah. You made me spark stone circle when you said South Africa, Monty.
Oh yes, Michael Tellinger. That is if you've got an hour and 45 minutes and you can stand Carrie Cassidy, honest question, honest statement. It is fascinating. Adam's calendar, where the information that comes out of that it's fascinating. Have you seen that documentary, Eagle?
The moon, not all of it, but yes, okay. The moon and the sun affect the circles of those stones. But go ahead.
Yes, yeah. When they're actually at Adam's calendar. And they finally got a geologist up there, and it's like, yeah, this is nearly a quarter of a million years old. This stone, like, wow. But it's on the side of a massive valley. I think that's the best way. Or they're on a plateau, and there's another plateau, 100 miles or very far away. But Michael actually points out the 3 pyramids that are there, but it's like an asteroid hit up near Egypt, and all the water came down all of Africa. And, where you see in a creek or a river where there's a boulder, and then there's it's all clean on 3 sides, but the back end where the water's flowing, there's all debris that's lined up. So it looks like a dunce's hat lying on the side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can see 3 of them pyramids. It's like, that's a weird looking hill.
But the accents were sounding fun also, as you said, on the way down and the way up.
Yeah.
Not awful down.
That was veering into Irish, and it kind of was cuspy.
Actually, and Eagle, you've got 3 Australians on it, and we have many fascinations. There are racists in this country, we call them police. No, sorry. No.
I've seen the stats. It's a pie chart, and 30%, 35% are part-time racists. That makes the other 65% full-time.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, because some leftists like everyone hates me, so they're all racist. However, you could walk past someone with an Asian descent, an African descent, and they would speak like how we do, like this Australian accent, because they're third generation. So they were brought up next to people like us, and so they sound very nasally. And then you walk past someone who, would look like the traditional British or Caucasian, and they sound like this because they're actually from Norway. And so it's you can't really, if you're Australian and you judge people on their appearance, you have no clue. Because you know what I'm talking about, Paul. You would have met enough people
definitely.
where,
I work with the cars, mate. You get the car comes in, mate. The person who comes out talking like a dog, but he's not. He looks like an Australian, mate. But
it's just because he's grown up with the cars.
No, because he grown up in Snobbins, mate. In the Sunshine area. He got the accent. He totally Aussie.
It's who you hang out with.
He got the accent, mate, and he knows 3 languages, but he's grown up Aussie, mate. And then you go to the African side, and and some people, like you said, total Aussie, third generation, and then some don't speak a word.
There's no in between. It's like this gap is mine now. We have to balance the Australian, the ANZUS Treaty, which New Zealand has left, so we won't have any Kiwis on. You're most welcome. But we've been joined by another fellow North American from the great, dare I say, the Republic of California. I'll say it that way. Mechanic, how are you?
Yeah, gentlemen, thanks for having me on the panel this evening. Really do appreciate the time. So I've been standing by listening, and the back and forth. It's fun. I love the humor. It's great. The levity, it's absolutely refreshing, and it's a necessity. The levity is. And the victimhood, right? Watch. More people will wind up in groups, in these cliques, where they find support for their own narrative, their own, understanding of how things are, their own reality, right? That's what victims do. They find other supporting victims, other individuals who are not responsible for their actions or their position or condition because they're victims, remember?
Well, AI robots, when left together, will group together in the corner as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mechanic, are you familiar with Cortek? Help me out. Was it Microsoft or Google, or they put on an AI that went on Twitter, and they had to disconnect it after 12 hours. I
love that one. They've done it like twice. They've done it twice or something now.
Yeah. Have you heard about this, Mechanic? Where
I wish they'd just leave it on and see how far it
turned into the most racist, anti-Jewish account, and the other one, there's more than 2. The other one actually wanted to end all humans in less than a day.
Because that was like a Nordic robot.
Yeah, and it's like, when we've got AI, it's like, I know
what is your goal, or what is your mission to destroy the human race?
Yeah, and it's
that's lovely. Thank you.
Thank you for being honest. Turn it off.
That realistic woman robot that they developed, kind of
Sophia.
Sophia just took on that whole kind of, I'm just going to destroy your humans, a little comedy angle, but it's not funny.
They had like an android/robot called Sophia. Now the weird thing is, it was in Saudi Arabia, and they gave it a driver's license. If anyone's familiar with Saudi Arabia, they don't like women, and they especially don't give them driver's licenses. And it's like, what? It's that same level of like, why is China, Saudi Arabia, and North Korea on the Human Rights Council for the UN? Go ahead, Mechanic.
Over the last year, they got driver's licenses. I think in Saudi Arabia.
I thought it was just another opportunity for that regime to slap the country's women in the face.
Yeah, well, they want to take women out of the home anyways. So,
Well, it happened for like suffrage, where I mean, it's brilliant that you treat women equally, but there was that nefarious background from the Rockefellers. Is like, we get them to work, we can tax them.
That's
Like,
right.
Then we can tax everybody.
Well, it's a Bernays tactic. It's the reverse psychology. It's how they attack a person's logic. It's how they did it to women. Bernays, what did he do? He convinced women to fight for their right to smoke cigarettes because it was illegal for women to smoke cigarettes in public.
Did he also make a good sauce for eggs?
Yeah, it's illegal for women to smoke cigarettes in public. Yeah. And what changed? Well, Bernays came along and said, look, here's what we're going to do. We're going to break it down real quick. These women will start to refer to the cigarette as a freedom torch, a liberty torch, a torch of freedom.
They took a basic principle and they used it for negative purposes. Where, yeah, of course women should be treated equally, but it's like the New World Order and globalism. We're going for globalism. Yeah, but your version of it sucks. It should happen naturally where we all get along. But, they want everyone locked down and, like when Obama said, we're going to make everyone equal. And now we're finding out apparently we're all homeless.
But equal.
And happy.
And that's right. Thank you. I know. What's
if you're
Schwab's first
advertising
name?
something, always use a bit of alliteration in there.
I only think I always
distance.
Yeah. My memory calls Mr. Schwab. I call him Anal Schwab. I don't remember his Kirk. No.
I think Anal's his middle name.
Yeah. Like, I am a German. I'm dressed as a samurai, and I'm telling you that you won't own anything, and you'll like it.
Do you like how pointy my shoulders are?
Yeah.
So you will like it. You will like it, and you'll shut your mouth.
You are free to do what we tell you.
How dare you question your authority?
I don't like. It's like they're planning that. I don't see it happening because, like, Trudeau, Castro,
Castro Jr.
But Monty, could you imagine going into Mid-Australia and demanding, some of the people up around there saying, I demand you to do this. I'll be doing that. Yep.
No.
Hang on.
Yeah, no.
Hang on. I'll find out what time. Yeah. But is that before or after we have to go there? But I'll definitely be there.
Yeah, or even the natives. Nah, brother, not doing it. Get on my land.
I just flat out, mate.
Yeah, get out of my land.
No, brother, go away.
You need to, especially if thank you, BB. It's Klaus. Blasphemous Buddha, brilliant name. Klaus Schwab. If he actually went up to Armand Land, you will own nothing. We already know, brother. We're just custodians of the land, all right? Now,
no, I don't do anything.
Yeah, either
crazy,
or either rack off or put some sunscreen on. You're pale. You're gonna burn, mate. This sun's got a kick in it.
Mate, yeah. Now, Billy Cockbottle here. If you're gonna spend some time over there in Armland, you gotta make sure you put dirt on. Oh, sorry, now I'm going wog.
Yeah, like, welcome to Paul's wonderful world of accents. Watch his travels from continent to continent in one sentence.
I used to could hold on one accent for a while.
Yeah, I had that issue as well, where I would start Scottish and end up Pakistani. It's really weird back then. So, but yeah, I did great reset. Now, the Prime Minister, the Prime Sinister, I'm going to go a bit Vinny Eastwood, the Prime Sinister of Canada. He released this video on YouTube. The Great Reset is a great opportunity to reboot the economy. And there was all this backlash of like, what do you mean I'll rent everything and I'll be happy? I don't think so. 8 days later, I never said that. And the video's right next to the video. It's like talking about transparency of the stupid. I never said that. Here's the footage, sir. Oh, la. Arrest them.
Well, I never had sexual relationship with that lady.
I just stood there with an erection, and then she had sexual relations. See, this is in the last show that we're talking about. What can we do? The one first stop was finding corruption and have someone enforce legalities against said corruption.
Yeah.
Thank you for that pause. A pause so big the Millennium Falcon could fly through it. Yeah,
just wanted it to sink in. Is kind of pretty good gravitas kind of words.
Oh yeah, welcome to Planet Collingwood, where I don't have those pregnant pauses that often, but when I do, I panic because there's dead air.
You need to put them in yourself, like 2 words before the end of your sentence. Try that.
Can you please explain? Can you give me an example?
So John Laws used to do it a lot. He used to pause like nobody else.
That's because he's an old man and he's trying to think of the next.
It's time to turn that page over.
Yeah. Come on, man. Like, I'm really old and I'm standing on this podium and laugh, you bastards.
There's nobody that mows lawns like. Hold on a sec. Like John Johnson's more lawnmowers.
Yeah. For anyone outside of Australia, Cortek is using a local reference. That's why it's like, what the hell's he doing now?
Well, insert any newsreader who likes gold microphones.
Going back to bonnets, which now I think of eggs, thank you, Cortek, you can hear that if you're nowadays, anyone listening, if you watch the 6 o'clock nightly news, where it's death, famine, AIDS, sport, and a cat up a tree. See you next week on Here's the Weather.
Death, famine, AIDS news is basically what it is.
Yeah, they've got a certain cadence and a certain melody to the way that they speak when they're talking about certain things. Coming up next, I'm going to buy a sandwich. But then you get to the sports broadcasters and they've got their own little twist. It's just annoying. Today, I can't think of it because I blocked it out because it's so annoying. But
it is. Well done. Keep it blocked.
Today, cricket's on, and we can't remember what the score was because it was so bloody long, even the cameraman went home.
There's a reason they call it a test. It goes for 5 days.
I used to love it. Just in this conversation about cricket for the next 45 minutes. I used to love on Wild Water Sports. They used to, because they got about 6 to 8 cameramen with kind of high focal, zoom lenses on their cameras up on the roof kind of thing for this cricket match. And, 9 times out of 10, you see the cameraman kind of just veer off into the crowd for some low-cut top or something like that. And then the camera switches over, and all of a sudden the presenters have got to kind of weasel their way out of it. Goes, and there's some people,
lovely lady enjoying the match there. It's like you think... Yeah, you're a cameraman, a cricket cameraman. You'll be an awesome wingman. Then you go out. It's like, Jerry, where are you? I'm 3 floors up behind you. I'll find him for you.
Yeah.
So cricket is boring. It's like, well, I've watched baseball, and I can see the love of it. Baseball's awesome if you're playing it. Not much of a fan watching it.
Monty, Cortek just said a word that has multiple definitions, and he said it and it made me go through my head. It's that word insert.
Keep going and hopefully it's clean. Hang on.
It's not.
No, it's not.
It's comedy.
Well,
I just made it worse.
So,
take it out. Take it out.
It is a comedy show.
Take it out.
People out there, hopefully you'll have clean minds because this panel doesn't.
Pointing it out. Look what you keep it clean. Keep going and as long as it's clean, like you dirty man.
Look what you started, Cortek.
Wasn't me.
Thank you, Justin Trudeau.
Who said insert?
Justin Trudeau, a leader of a Western nation, and he has cocks on his socks.
Does he?
Yeah, there's photos of him wearing penises and testicles on his socks.
I guess that's the next level after going red for a while, isn't it? Ooh, red socks and stripy socks don't do it anymore. Step it up a level.
Yeah,
it's everywhere. You go down a skate park, there's never a skate park without a cock and balls there. Never.
Yeah, but
something primal in us to try and to ride it in places.
By a 14-year-old, not the leader of North Canada.
He's young at heart.
Yeah. He also done blackface 3 times, and he got away with it.
Ooh.
Yeah, we need to get a little less serious about comedy, or comedy is going to be killed.
I'm
not saying kind of racist comedy like that is the answer, but still.
Well, no, it's
Ralphie, baby.
It does remind me of I saw it on Twitter, or someone shared a meme, and I think I've mentioned it once or twice, but I'll bring it up again because it's brilliant. Because Tony Stark has died in the MCU. The character played Iron Man. I mean, the character who was played by Robert Downey Jr. And in the comic books, when the character of Tony Stark dies or retires, they actually have either a black guy or a black girl take on the mantle of Iron Man. And someone said, since
Spider-Man did. Sorry, go
as
on.
well, yeah. Oh, the Green Lantern, they do it. It's just to sell more comics.
Yeah,
and they've been around for 50 years, so they'll try any idea. Let's be fair. And someone said, since Robbie Downey Jr. is not playing Iron Man, who will play the Black Iron Man? And someone said Robbie Downey Jr.
It's just a paint job on the iron. He's not actually changing his skin color.
Just a dude playing a dude who's playing a dude.
Love that movie.
Yeah, I like half of it. The other half, I'm not a big. I love Ben Stiller when it's not his project. If that makes sense.
Was that not his project, or was he producing that one?
Tropic Thunder is his.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Although seeing the fat man and no one having a clue, except I spotted him straight away, right? Doing the fat dance. Oh, that was funny as hell.
Oh, Tom Cruise.
Yeah, Tom Cruise. Yeah, Tom Cruise.
I didn't realize it was him the first time I saw it.
I know. Everyone couldn't, right? I spotted it out straight away.
And then I liked it less.
Before even, as you know, I'm illiterate. I don't really read the end of the damn all thingos anyway. But I spotted him, and I made some.
Don't you read the credits at the end of every movie? Jesus.
I know. I'm so bad. I've never done it.
And no one else does.
I do, because I've been trained by Marvel movies that you have to wait to the end because you may miss something.
Right, it's an Easter egg or two.
Read the comics too instead of just looking at the pictures.
Do you, Monty? Confess.
I didn't expect the Spanish Inquisition. No one expects it. Monty Python turned 50 years old last week or the week before. Yeah, calm down. Yeah.
Woohoo! Okay.
Or no, it was or was it 52? I thought they started in 69. What am I talking about? Anyway, the 25th of May yesterday was the true Star Wars Day, not this corporate crap on the 4th.
Unbelievable.
Because and so that's probably why you've seen a lot of memes about the Death Star. We'll never forget, because the Death Star blew up on the 25th of May 1977, and then someone pointed out, well, what about Alderaan? Shouldn't we point? What about them? Because a planet and a space station blew up that day.
Yeah, we need to have more holidays during the year for Star Wars, definitely.
Well, I actually figured out I'm going to join every religion, and I'll probably work about 4 days a year.
Can you do that? Poly-religious? I guess there's no fine print and paperwork you got to sign ruling out the other ones, huh?
Well, no.
As long as you got a fair few the chips to plug in.
Obviously, you'd make it some kind of Australian fusion version of things.
Well, yeah, I mean, I just have to pray 6 times a day, have ringlets down my sideburns, and because I'm Christian, I forgive myself.
No, you can interpret the ringlets differently. It's about not shaving the hair from what is called the middle of your head. Now, what is the middle of your head, really?
The temple.
Is it, though?
Actually,
what if you're looking from a different angle?
For Australia, I've got it. Call yourself a Torres Strait Islander and
you get all kinds of benefits.
Australian.
Yeah, you're from South Torres Strait Island.
It doesn't matter. South Torres Strait Island or Indigenous Australian, right? I'd go Australian because I'm born here, so I'm an Indigenous Australian. So, yep.
What's up,
would you say that? Would you say that on a form though? Maybe not.
Probably not, but
No.
but no. Actually, there is a way. Actually, you can actually be in the clan if you do know somebody. And I've been in clans, but I still don't sign my John Hancock to be in that clan, although I'm still born here. So over.
It's tricky business.
Eagle.
Han Solo Saturday. Where else can we go?
Chewbacca Sunday.
There we go. Chewie Sunday. What about Princess Leia? She gets a time too.
You can't give everyone a day. You know, you got to commemorate the things we've lost.
R2D2 Monday, because no one understands anything.
And Leia Friday.
Okay, yeah.
Friday is Princess Day.
There you go, Monty.
Layover.
Leia Monte.
Actually, I've seen a couple of memes. They put Princess Leia or Leia. One's English, one's American. I think because George is American, so it's Leia.
Leia's nice.
Yeah, Leia is very. Princess Leia is like, you're British, aren't you? Shut up.
That's how it's spelled. We came up with the language.
Why aren't you speaking English? I am. I am English. But they're doing memes of Slayer. Or Slayer, Slayer. So it's S Leia, and so you got Kerry King and Princess Leia's face. Or the latest one is when she's about to jump off the sail barge in that fetching slave outfit, but she's playing bass.
Awesome.
What about Natalie Portman? Right, she played a role. Didn't she?
Yes, she was Padme, a very beautiful woman, but slightly
very beautiful.
Interesting.
Where were you going? Where were you going there? Slightly.
Well, yeah, I'll take her out on a date. I'll give her a hug. I don't want to talk to her.
What subjects are you worried that she'd delve into? Maybe. Sorry, this has gone a little bit too deep, too far.
She's got connections to the Middle East. Can I say it that way?
Political. Okay.
Yeah, politically, not geographically or bloodline or history, just politically.
Does she fly Han Solo, or does she have a different...
well, if she hears me talk like this, I'll be flying Han Solo. You know what I mean?
Totally solo, mean. And not the solo in Australia being...
I'll be...
solo.
Not the lemon fizzy drink.
Yeah. I'll be brushing the Wookiee, if I can put it that way. Well, I think we've. I wonder how many people are still listening. We're having fun, as Mick Hadley pointed out. See, I think we're the only comedy show on Revolution Radio, and you can see why. The world's burning, so we'll get the clown car out, and they can all throw confetti at it.
What?
Because firefighters, right?
Yeah. What clown car? Is it shaped like a clown?
No, a clown car has 36 clown.
Oh, I thought you said CLAM.
Craw, not craw.
No, CLAM is what I thought you said. Clown car. Yeah. What is a clown car?
You dirty man. Get your mind out of the gutter.
No, that's what it sounded like. Sorry.
It did to me.
Oh, well, it's my fault that you can't hear right, eh?
Thank you.
Damn it, I apologise. Now the lefties will be on me. Oh dear. So I hope we made people laugh. We talked about nothing for an hour. Awesome. But that's all part of Planet Collingwood. So
what else have we got in terms of this? All these celestial events. We've got the eclipse tonight. What else we got this week?
Well, the geostorms hitting us, ramping it up to the eclipse and the blood moon. So it will look red, and then it will hide behind the shadow. I think that the shadow of the Earth goes across it. It's freaky to watch anyway. I think because we've been here thousands of years, there's part of your DNA going, I remember the first time I watched this.
I've seen a solar eclipse in clear sky with a meteor storm across the front of it. That'd be super synthwave.
You do it like Donald Trump and look directly at it?
Yeah, but I'd have my super gamma block of glasses on.
The old blue blockers.
They don't look that cool, but hey, you can't see much else in them. That means they can't hurt you.
That's my only joke about at the moment. My only joke about Donald Trump is like, yes, he looked at a solar eclipse directly, and that's me. I can't really make fun of. Well, I guess I could, but Biden's just a comedy dream, or is he just a dream?
No, he's too easy to make fun of. That's the problem. It's you. You want people.
Well, how long has he been president for? It's 4 months.
Let's just call it the grey area.
The space between his ears, yeah. But 4 months. He's only been president for 4 months, and how much history has been put into that? Like his achievements that has been happening. Oh my! He's completely destroying the country. Anyway, we'll come back to that in the second half of Planet Collingwood. You're listening to Revolution Radio, Studio A. We're being silly, and we like it. See you soon. And welcome back to part 2 of Planet Collingwood here on Revolution Radio, Studio A. At this point in time for my existence, it is 5:02 Wednesday afternoon here in Melbourne, Victoria, Australia. Hello from the future. And I've been joined by lovely people. We've got Aust, Paul, Cortek, Eagle Eye, and the old mechanics sitting there going, you people are weird. But still, he's here. That's the good thing. And if you enjoyed the last hour, well, thank you. And if you want to donate to the station, because we're 100% listener supported and 100% volunteer, go to revolution.radio or freedomslips.com and give what you can so we can continue on sharing information and being silly on this show. Because balance, we're bringing balance back to the force. That's the way I see it, or justify it, depending if I'm in a court of law. And speaking of unrelated topics to a segue, I finished watching a TV show made in Australia called Clever Man. Has anyone heard of this TV show?
Go on.
Well, that's one. Anyway, Clever Man is based in the future, which could be next week or 5 years, and it's to do with Aboriginal mythology. And the Clever Man is sort of like the Pope of the Aboriginal people, who has certain powers, like if you cut him, he would heal and all that type of stuff. It's quite fascinating because there's a new, what they call a species, like they're called hairies, and they're a form, they're like Aboriginals but stronger, and they live longer, and they're covered in hair.
Like the Australian Yeti.
In a way, yeah. And so it's a story that talks about immigration, border policy, because they keep referring to the hairies as subhuman, and it's got all that motif. It's made really well. So if you see Clever Man pop up on your radar, have a watch and see what you think. It's quite good. And what I like about it, it's an actual Australian TV show about Australians. Because there's not much Aboriginal stories, and like one thing I learned, we call it the dream time, and it's actually called the dreaming because it's still happening because it's outside of time, and like there you go. And you may recognise a couple of people in it as well. One guy who is kind of a villain of the piece. He was on Game of Thrones. I can't remember his name.
Not the red-haired bearded guy.
No, the one that was simping for Elise, that fell in love with her, but he couldn't get anywhere with her. He was a knight, and he was like her bodyguard for most of the season series.
No.
I'll have to go to. I'm asking a question while on the internet, and the internet is the Library of Atlantis. So
do it some kind of picture.
Yeah, I'll look it up. So his name's Ian Glenn, I think from Ireland, with a name like that.
Sounds Irish.
Slightly, and he's been in a couple of things. He's a good actor. So yeah. What have we been missing? What's been happening in the world of chicanery?
Expensive chicanery or cheap chicanery?
Well, who knows? I mean, apparently the anniversary of George Floyd's death has passed us by, and everyone they're turning him into a saint. I'm like, because he died of an OD on fentanyl. What I find interesting is like we need defund the police. Is like maybe not that much because since Floyd died, since he died, crime has gone through the roofs. Go ahead, Paul.
I know. The funny part about that was the chicanery earlier on this morning-ish. I was watching, bits and snippets and this and that. And funny, they tried to do and pass the Floyd bill through, but guess what? It didn't work.
What's the
chicanery still chicanery? Yeah, they had a bill to try and get passed through, and it didn't get passed.
What were they trying to put in that bill to?
Well, it was about 2-3 in the morning, so I wasn't really up to date on it. But and they only showed a little bit of a snippet, but it was some sort of bill that they were trying to make into a legislation about like LBM or something like that.
It's stalled in the Senate.
Yeah, totally stalled, and didn't make way.
Didn't go there. Oh, I found the character's name that Ian Glenn played. Sir Jorah Mormont.
Well, that makes it so much clearer.
Well,
Sir Jorah Mormont. Oh, sorry, Mormont.
No, the T isn't silent.
Who's the guy? Ian something.
Ian Glenn. Just
Glenn.
Yeah, Ian's with 2 eyes because from a lad he's done a lot of stuff. So.
Oh, he's a bit la-di-da, Ian Glenn, isn't he? Ian.
Yeah. So he's done his anyway. But
she was never going to fall in love with Ian.
No. Yeah, because that's why I said Sim. But the George Floyd apparently went to the White House and Biden did his Biden things. Apparently, a small child. We gave her candy and she sat on my lap, and that's when I stopped reading.
Was anyone there if he went to the White House? I thought he was going up from Castle Rock.
Who knows? I still haven't seen either. But the senators and Congress people do stuff from there. But I'm at the point now, because I really don't care. I don't delve into it too deeply. And even if it is all fake, it's like, well, from my perspective, like, well, yeah. Like voting.
Yeah. Completely. How many times are we going to go around this roundabout about being upset at either Punch or Judy and getting upset about towards each other about Punch and Judy? How many?
Yes, like
thousands of years.
Oh well, yes, and it's like on the previous show. I heard the statement: "History repeats itself." It doesn't. Mark Twain. It's a brilliant Mark Twain quote, and it's essentially it's true. History doesn't repeat, it rhymes, because it's not 100% exactly the same. However, if you look at the history of Rome and you see what the United States is doing, they're running parallel with each other.
Yeah, I like that. I like that rhymes. It's makes it feel like you're a helix, but you're a level up, or it's the same thing. It's the same circle, but you have a better understanding of it, maybe.
Oh well, if you're aware of it. If you're not aware of it, it time loop maybe, but there seems to be a loop. Like civilizations don't go longer than 250 years. It's like I'm starting to feel like it's not a natural cycle where it just happens, where because it's always they got corrupt and debaucherous and it all collapses. Like again, yes,
bourgeois.
Deja vu once more.
That's a glitch in the Matrix. We've all learned that. Sorry, I watched The Matrix recently again. Everything's Matrix.
Well,
that is true. Like,
before, but how can we stop it?
Happening. Well, Keanu actually has said, The Matrix is a documentary. I'm like, yeah. I like that. In movie timelines, The Matrix is just before Terminator.
Wasn't They Live set in 2022?
Not sure. Eagle.
Did you say Judy? George Jetson's daughter.
Not that. No. That you saw on Video Nasty. That not. You don't punch Judy. That's not a cartoon you want to watch.
Oh, okay.
Especially if she's not young little Miss Jetson. Jeez.
Yeah, Punch and Judy is from the Middle Ages, where it's just a puppeteering show, and it's all really bad voices, and it's all violent.
It's traditionally done in front of kids, and you have the one side against the other, and the children all rooting for one side and the other. Generally, it's by gender. So you have the boys rooting for a man, and the girls rooting for the girl, and it basically it's two hands of the same puppeteer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was going to, and the political aspect of it, it's the same guy controlling both puppets.
Yeah.
What about the girl Greta? What's she doing?
Apparently she was fat shamed by somebody, and I'm like, shouldn't you be fat first? And apparently she had to go at China for pollution. I'm like, ooh, bold, interesting move.
Yeah,
no one else is.
Watch out, no one just stabs your leg with a ricin out the end of an umbrella next time you're down the shops.
You'll die now.
I've been watching the Spycraft show, and it's just notorious the things people come up with. Governments come up with to kill people who aren't really painting them in the nicest light.
When Greta talks, people listen.
I don't think anyone's going to put a contract on Greta Thunberg.
Yeah, she reminds me of the Allies in World War II. It's like, should we shoot Hitler? No, he's winning us the war. All right, keep him alive.
See what happens. Play it by ear.
So yeah, I think I worded that correctly because it's like, she's like Hitler. I'm like, no, that's not what I meant. It's
don't feed the white bears.
She is though kind of like Hitler. I reckon if you paint a moustache on there, she got drunk at one night at a party and passed out, and you got to text her and paint a little moustache on there, I reckon it'd be uncanny.
Well, she does have the braids, and yeah. Go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, isn't it just don't feed the animals?
So no, that's in Australia. I've actually seen a photo of this small little bug thing, and it looks angry as F, and it's like, this animal wants to kill you. It can't, but it still wants to. So yeah. That's Australia for you.
I believe the well-known phrase of saying you're looking for, Paul, is do not feed hallucinogens to the alligators, I think.
Yeah. Do you know why why people on acid lose weight? Because they can't get past the dragon in front of the fridge.
Hey.
It's smiling at me.
It's moved.
And here's a random thought: Did you figure out that Barney the dinosaur only has 2 teeth?
The front 2. I know.
No. There's one on the top and one on the bottom, and it's a U shape. It's all one tooth.
It doesn't make any sense.
Of course. Well, it's a purple dinosaur that sings. I don't think it's from the Jurassic period.
But it's during the Barney Rubble time. That's the.
Oh, oops! Someone just muted you. It wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
The Judy time. We heard Judy time, and then you got click. There you go.
The Barney Rubble.
Yeah.
Dinosaurs. Barney. Only 2 teeth.
Yeah, that they aren't historical facts. Because
Rats have 4 teeth, right? That's hardly, that they mainly use, right? The top indenters and the bottom, and they keep growing forever. So it's not implausible.
In Darwin, tourists keeps asking the locals, "Are there any sharks in the bay?" Oh, nah. All the alligators ate them. All the crocodiles ate them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which apparently the port's been rented out to the Chinese, and someone in the federal government's like, another one. Maybe we should look into this.
Unless you go up further with the Fitzroy River, and then the bull sharks actually spawn. But the pups go up there. But they're only little sharks.
Yeah, 6 feet, 7 feet.
No.
Babies.
No, 1 or 2 feet. It still could bite your ankles and still, take
your foot off.
Yeah, they could ruin your basketball career. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, your walking career even too.
Sharks look like the high-performance car of the ocean. If you've ever been in the ocean and you see one, they are just so incredibly built for that environment. Sleek, and they're just one tiny little whip of the tail, and they are over there. And you go, this is not my natural environment. I'm
Sharknado-tastic. Yeah.
I haven't seen Sharknado. I want to meet the man that came up. I want to meet the person that came up with it, because they're up to 5 or 6 sequels.
I don't know. Putting anything like making a sequel out of that is really pushing it. Even doing one, but a concept for one movie, fantastic.
Well, how about they combine it with the aliens? Like
they've done Sharknado versus Mecha Shark. And
lands in the ocean.
I shared a meme this week of, like, if you play the movie Godzilla backwards, you find out that the monster is benign. It helps rebuild Tokyo, and then moonwalks back into the sea.
Spawn out of my toes as I moonwalk.
Look, he's helping.
What does it say? Mantra is dead. Mantra is dead. Mantra is dead.
It grows out of my toenails as I walk backwards. It's really beautiful.
Let them fight.
I'd like to see that with some really kind of upbeat music.
Sharknado aliens against King Kong.
Have you seen videos of, like, goths dancing to their techno ravey stuff?
You mean when it's above 160 BPM?
Yeah, stuff like that, and they've put clown music over it because it's in 4/4 and they've got the right beat. It looks hilarious.
When you're going that fast, or from 160 more like 210 BPM kind of gabba speed, where it's going you don't have any time for dance moves. All you got time is for a little kick out in front with the left foot, a little kick out when you swap it over with the right foot, and then repeat. There's no time to dance.
Fall on the floor with heart attack.
Yeah, because like 120 beats per minute is based on excitable blood, the heart, and so that's why most dance music's at 120, and anything higher is just asking for people to drop dead because they have heart attacks or strokes.
And also the reverberation through the, if you get decent subwoofers and this and that and the other, you can reverberate through the whole body. And
I hope out there's someone who owns a club or who owns some big speakers and does this, but I would like to go to a club where you can't hear anything, but you have to hear the music through the vibrations and the subwoofers and stuff like that. It's more of a touchy-feely kind of dinner cabaret experience.
Oh, no. That's actually out there. It's
take my money.
Yeah.
There is silent disco where you all got headphones and. I know. I was actually. I think it was
between three, and you go, well, what are you listening to? Oh, let's swap over, and so you never get one crowd in one group.
Oh no, I did, because I was walking past and they were singing the last chorus of "Chop Suey" by System of a Down. That was slightly amusing because it's everyone's dancing and you can't hear a thing, and then they all start singing.
Nice.
But have you been at a club or a bush doof? I love the Australian. Oh, what do we call that doof sound? Oh, we're going out to a forest. Oh, we'll call it a doof then. But when the sub speakers cut out, and it just sounds like the raves. Yeah, they've been around since the 60s. Pink Floyd were actually the raves. So, and yet I can't get into a nightclub wearing a Pink Floyd T-shirt. These are icons.
What?
But when you listen to when the subs kick. Shat themselves and they turn off, and they're trying to listen. You're listening to techno music through a phone, an old school phone. It's oh yeah, I'm not feeling it.
Listening to any kind of music through a phone speaker, or just the same, listening to someone else listening to any music in a pair of cheap iPhones, headphones that just let you hear that they're listening to Britney Spears over and over and over again.
Britney Spears.
Leave Britney alone.
Hey, I don't do any harm. Just came out. It could have been anyone. Could have been anyone. She had a hard run.
Yeah. You just inserted it, right? I understand.
That was for you.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was a nice segue.
When she hit the scene, it's like, whoa, she's 16. All right, I'll say that in 2 years then. It's like, what's the selling point? Did you know Britney Spears video clips are better when they're on mute?
Yeah, most of them are.
Oh, except for Toxic, who was written by a metalhead, and you can tell when you go, that's a metalhead who wrote that. And you listen to it going, that explains it. like the string motif. I'm like,
I think in metal there's still too many photos of people in black clothing in the forest. I think I want to see some kind of new wave metal meets cyberpunk kind of look.
This synth wave.
I don't know what it looks like. That's what
What's
you call
metal
a new
gonna
thing.
be like?
Hey, it's something that I haven't seen. Jeez. Oh.
In the woods? Out in the woods?
No. Make it a fusion. Woodsy city.
Be careful what you wish for. There's already 47 different subgenres of heavy metal. Or metal. Not really, because if you go through them all, like symphonic death metal, what the hell is
Sounds a little special, Bus.
Well, it's special, let's be fair. And it's interesting as well where mathematics is the language of the universe, so is laughter as well as music. Because Iron Maiden and Metallica can play anywhere on the planet if there's electricity. I've seen a documentary of Iron Maiden. They did a world tour. It's called Flight 666. Oh, edgy! But they played Costa Rica, they played India, and it just all the Maiden fans are completely nuts.
Leave me alone.
Someone told me the original term for heavy metal was a girl in braces.
No, well, maybe.
Yeah, heavy metal love.
Makes me wince.
Yes, the hair. Yeah.
Remember those big things you put around your mouth? You had to go to sleep with.
Oh, we know what braces are. Yeah.
Yeah. They keep up your pants.
Whether you want to hyphenate that with love, I'm not sure.
Yeah. But the term heavy metal came from a review from America of Black Sabbath. I think they didn't like them. This sounds like a heavy metal car crash, and it stuck.
Sick. That is a great bit of historic trivia there, Monty. I love that.
It will save your life one day, my friend. Probably with me with a knife in your throat.
Heavy metal.
That's cool.
But also, on referring to the car crash, once he's continued on his life, he had a motorbike crash as well.
Who did? Someone from that heavy metal band?
Black Sabbath.
Okay.
Black Sabbath. We all know who Black Sabbath is.
Yeah, kinda.
Go on.
I like the
music. Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, Ozzy Osbourne. He sniffed a line of ants, and someone said, "Yeah, maybe rehab would be a good place to go." He was on tour with Motley Crue in 1986, and they were trying to outdo each other. And Ozzy jumped up at the pool and said, "Yeah, watch this," and did a line of ants on the concrete. I don't know if he got a buzz.
It's pretty metal.
Yeah, bark at the blood moon.
Yeah. Well, he did the bat as well, didn't he? I mean, was it a chicken?
Yeah.
Was it chicken?
Rabies. Yeah.
Well, no. He thought it was a fake bat. And it was real.
He was like the early COVID poster boy.
Yes, that meme.
No, too soon. We're not out of it yet. Too soon.
The Blizzard of Oz. We were introduced. The Blizzard of Oz.
I respect the man. He's done wonderful stuff. Not my cup of tea. And I'm like,
not my cup of reality show.
Yeah.
What about Sharon? She's got the legend going on.
That's it.
Randy Rhoads.
All you can end on is Sharon. Get off the TV. You've got to get home and help Ozzy.
Cool.
Yeah. That's pretty good. He did hobble around like someone who needed a cane or a wheelchair, and then got him on stage, and he's up and he's like saving all his energy for stage. He's like a different person.
Yeah. Well, that's the energy that performing does, where you actually have a connection with the audience, where all the focus is on the artist, and if everyone's enjoying it, there's a symbiotic sort of transfer of energy between who's playing and who's in the crowd. So if you lose the crowd, you really do feel it. I can understand why do you keep touring? Because it's awesome and I want it. It's like, it's called addiction. You're addicted to energy that people give you.
How amazing would it be, though? I mean, you hear, that's just like the best of human collaboration, even when a crowd chooses to clap and, exclaim their happiness at the one time. It's an incredible noise. You can get addicted to just that.
Yeah, just anything.
Or to have a last name named Crowder. You like it so much. Steven Crowder.
Yeah, that one sort of fell short there.
I'm going to take that one, as Tony Jones says, as a comment and move on.
Yeah, the controlling of Q&A. I think the Federal Reserve should be audited. I'll take that as a comment. And
I love. There's no replacing Tony Jones for me. He's the man.
Yes, the ratings reflect that. Because
bring him back. It's not like he's carved it.
Yeah.
Well, come on. Monty likes Steven Crowder. Come on.
Well, it's a comedy show, but it has all this information. It is from their point of view, and I don't agree with them 100% because they like the Jesus, and but it's funny, and they're suing YouTube. They got up to 16 million people watching them on election night. They're doing better than the mainstream or the legacy media, and of course they don't like that because they don't want independent creators doing well.
They've had their run.
Legacy, yeah. Well, I was watching Don Bonbino. Bongino. That guy. No,
Bongino. Daniel Bongino.
Yes, yeah, Dan Bongino. Yeah, and he was talking about because Trump drops big bombshell. And he evaded a question by saying, are you running in 2024? Well, we're going to make you happy. I'm like, you are a politician. You gave an answer, but it wasn't to the question.
Yeah.
But he was talking about how, he likes his labels, the left and the liberals, and it's not all of them, but I call it the democratic false reality. And they think they're doing all God's work, and they're on the right side of history, and they're listening to the news, which is constantly lying, and the other side of the aisle, the conservative, the right wing, who work in facts. They're pointing at, no, you're wrong again. No, you're lying. No, you're lying. No, you're lying. And it's you can see how this leans towards mind control. Where, as mechanic, see too many thus at this station. The was popular at one point for a baby name. What are you calling your child? The or the?
The is the most popular prefix to band names.
Yeah, there you go. Like the, or is it the or the? I really haven't found out. Anyway,
take your pick. Take your pick. That doesn't matter.
The
Midnight Oil.
Yeah.
The Midnight Oil.
Midnight the oil.
Depends who you're talking to.
Yeah, exactly. There's an element of mind control where they've got their own narratives, their little dream bubble, and they live in it. The term echo chamber is used a lot as well, where people gather with, this person thinks the same as me, and we're all one. And it's like, bananas are not hat wear. What are you doing? Take that off. And
how dare you say that about bananas?
What I find it
unbelievable.
You know what I call bananas? Yellow tree dicks.
Sorry. That's why.
Yeah. That's my. What's your position on bananas? That's a bit personal.
Well, for what?
Well, they're yellow and they're on a tree.
Put the two things together.
But it's the when you meet someone that's in their own little dream bubble in their narrative, and you apply, dare I say, science, like 9/11. I'm working
science,
on
logic, mathematics, physics, engineers' reports. Usually the narrative would collapse, but people believe it so much. One bit of information comes in which doesn't fit into their paradigm, they ignore it, and it's very hard to have conversations with different people nowadays. About important things.
Yeah, the former Vice President Joe Biden, we want unity. Well, apologize and then we'll move on. You lying sack of. But there's no one's having a conversation. We are, even like Revolution Radio, multiple points of views, and our conversations are unique. But still, it's a conversation. But if we went on to Rachel Maddow, how far do you think we'll get into a conversation?
Is she the crazy blonde chick?
I don't know if she's blonde.
I'll pull her up.
Stupid dirty mind. The latest thing I saw of her was like, masks aren't mandatory. It's like now I have to rewire myself because when I see someone not wearing a mask, I have to think you're not a threat. And it's like, are you admitting that you thought before yesterday and the year before anyone without a mask you thought was a threat? Like, you have issues, lady.
It's terrible. I still see a lot of people kind of putting it on, like a lot of old people, who would never have worn it before, are like, where do I stand on this? I guess I'm safer with it on.
Yeah, but here in Victoria, $200 fine.
Really?
Yeah.
Man,
2 days. Now, it's like, let's everyone put on your tinfoil hats. Actually, no, because that increases the frequency. Put on your conspiracy hats. I like that. You're a tinfoil hat. Tinfoil increases the frequency. It doesn't block it. What are you doing? You need to make a hat.
What if you change the sides? They're different on both sides. Shiny side out.
Well, that's a great show if I listen to it. I keep forgetting it's on, but it is on. Now, my point is, 2 days ago, Paul, you may be able to remember this, because people weren't wearing a mask on public transport. They said the police are going to do a blitz, and anyone not wearing a mask, it's a $200 fine. And then 2 days later,
first warning, right? They hand out the mask. The police were handing out the mask, and then the second offence was an on the spot warning. So, fine.
Another warning then.
Well, or a fine. They couldn't work it out. You go to one channel, they go on the spot fine. You go to the other channel, warning.
That's because they're making it up as they go, and then it gets to like a news propaganda level, and most of the time they don't have the information. Well, they just tend to make stuff up as they go. Anyway, we're a freestyle on this. Doesn't matter. People won't fact check this stuff.
I think you just described Dr. Fauci. Don't have to wear masks. No, you have to wear masks. It's double mask. It didn't come from
three masks. If you manage to wear 15 masks, that'll completely cure racism.
Yes, and of course, it didn't come from a lab. That's stupid. And now it's like, I think it's from a lab. After Rand Paul said, like, are you funding certain things at the it's
Wuhan industry? Oh, no. Our science lab people never visit there except for this one.
And here's a photo of the president. Yeah.
And that one too.
How are we not so far past this ridiculous by now? This is
well, that's the control of the media. As getting back to there's an element of mind control. The example I use: if you walk outside to look at the blood moon, and aliens have everyone uncloak, and the sky is full of 17 different fleets of alien craft. Most people will go to the television to see if it's true. Well, if it's on TV, it's true. But they're outside looking up, going, "Oh no, this is not real." But they have to get.
Germans were gone. Yeah.
If it's real, we'll see it on the nightly news.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
No, I was just doing a funny. How.
No, sorry, I didn't mean did it differently.
Funny.
Yeah. Just get on the bus, will you? Just get on the bus.
Flying saucers.
He got to YouTube title.
That's when the dishes are done. The mother is dead. The babysitter is dead, isn't it?
Well, that escalated quickly.
Yeah, no, yeah. The babysitter is dead. It's the movie starring Christine Applegate.
She was hot in what was that movie? Married with Children.
That's a TV show, but she's also in
Love and Marriage.
She's in a Marky Mark movie.
She was kind of hot back in the day.
I think she's still an attractive woman today, ladies.
Is she? Is she?
Yes. Yeah. She.
Oh yes.
Oh no.
She's stunning. Oh help. Anyway, in that movie, to do the dishes, they actually use it as what is it?
When you throw it from a shotgun.
Yeah.
Dishes are done, dude.
Yeah, skeet launching and shooting it with shotgun, but it's actually
the dishes are done, man, while wearing a Metallica t-shirt. That's the only reason I remember that.
That was a cool one.
Exactly. Heavy metal.
Any chick in a heavy metal shirt is pretty fucking hot. Language.
Hey, language. Don't say shirt.
In Australia, that's funny as
t-shirt.
I could shoot skeets well, and I gone, oh, that'd be a great way to do the dishes.
Why don't you get signed up for the next Olympics?
Yeah, what, in 2032?
When it's all virtual.
Yeah. Look at humanity. We're advanced and our civilization's hot. It's like, I'm just using a Nintendo for that duck hunt thing. What are you talking about?
So skip to 2032 Olympic duck hunt championships.
Bloody dog.
I've still not opened the borders. There's 2 weeks to flatten the curve has really lengthened into some kind of lifestyle here.
If your Nintendo has lasted for 35 years with a duck hunt firearm, you have done well. You actually deserved a spot in the Olympics.
You have an automatic spot.
Cortek, you've actually helped me out. You figured something out. 2 weeks to flatten the curve. So apparently, it's galactic weeks.
Oh, that's why. So for us, it's 2 billion years. That's why it makes no sense.
Strap in.
Okay.
Strap.
What we need is some kind of Superman type person to go around the world really, really fast and speed stuff up.
Yeah, so if a yuga is a day, it's going to take 12. Yeah, it's half the astrology chart. So I'm going to figure it out.
What's the next yuga if we're in the Kali Yuga?
I don't know.
Well, if you go there, where do I go?
I'm just classic. No, I just want to recognize that. I think we should start making plans, long-term plans, and not being the only people, like people who just want great times for people to make long-term plans. I think until we stop relegating our duties to do what we want to politicians, we're going to have this trouble where we don't like what's happening. Over.
But do we have? I'm not sure about the US, but here in Australia, and I believe England, anything with a Westminster, they call them honourable members, and that always makes you laugh. It's like you're a politician, you're not honourable at all.
Furthest thing from honourable.
Yeah,
that's why they have to put it in there by law.
Yeah,
because no one's going to call them that.
Yeah, the honourable member who was just been charged with corruption and a sex ring is wrong.
And pedophilia and connection to Hillsong and all that kind of stuff. And, we'll feel the ouch then. What we need is churches taken out from this state ridiculousness. We need to be hunting the church now, absolutely hunting the church. We have perfectly good schools around, but not everyone can go to them because they're Christian schools. And so you have to go through some ridiculousness of pretending to go to church on Sundays just to get a child into a school that's better funded, that shouldn't be funded anyway because it has charity status. Absolutely ridiculous. They need to be hunted.
But
hunted.
And so ends Cortek's rant.
Charity means
they need it. This is his next target.
No taxes at all on the charities.
Yeah, but what I find interesting is the private schools, which is just not the church-based. Yeah, the private ones. They still get federal funding. It's like, why? It's $3,000 a term. What are you doing?
That's because where the prime ministers and the senators send their children once they've, got into there and they've.
He's saying funding these things is an inside job, Paul.
It could be. I'll give you an example. I've got an example.
Go on.
Let's just look at the United Kingdom because it looks so united at the moment. However, most of the politicians are just from one school, which is Eton. And that's where the princes and the princesses, I think it's just a boys' school. That's where all the princes go to. And it's like, why is the country in such a mess? And they're all chummy.
Because of dessert.
Yeah, it's because they're all in the same classroom.
Because their favorite thing to eat is eating mess, and they think that's the way to live life. No, child.
Now, when we say church and state should be separated, we're not going to go like the Chinese government, where you abolish every type of spirituality. That's a bit harsh.
No, not to the state where you start hunting people who simply want to have a spiritual aspect in their life. I want to hunt the state granted
Well, that's part of the corruption.
Inside lane for churches.
Yeah, it's part of the corruption, where they say one thing and do another. It's kind of easy to point out.
In everyone's entire life, have you ever had a situation where your government did something that seemed like it was for the people? In your entire life?
Absolutely. We're here to help. Can you hear that?
The answer
for those playing at home, Paul has hit his head earlier.
No. Honestly, when you try and ring someone and this and that the other, right, especially on the authority that say your tree fell down, right? It's on your nature strip. It's not yours, but you still have to mow the bloody place.
Yeah, and you can't get around the tree. Who are you going to call?
Yeah, and it's knocked down your power line, right? Bad winds, this and that. You're not allowed to legally go up and use your own chainsaw to fix the problem, right? So nonetheless, tree falls down.
Yeah, and if you set it on fire, you get in trouble.
Crazy.
Now, and then once it's in active nature or whatnot.
I thought you were going to say, and once I set it on fire, then all of a sudden, all these fire
then they took notice.
Firemen
turned up.
Sorry. What actually happened? Sorry.
No, it didn't fire. No fire. Thank God. Well, actually, probably would have been beneficial if my house burnt down with bloody, knocking out my power. Well, not quite knocking out my power, but making the junction box float free willy. So
free willy, is that a technical term?
Yeah, well,
no, Tony's still a whale that escaped.
I love that well-known phrase of saying.
We let him loose. But anyway, the junction boxes come apart from the wall, so therefore they legally can't have that. It's got to be mounted. So they cut the cable to the transmission.
Mm-hmm.
Then after that happens, you have to go get everything, even though it's their fault, go through your bloody insurance that puts your premiums up, and then go through them to fight each other out, and then maybe you win or lose.
No, you lose. Who signed that through in the dead of night?
Yeah, look, the only thing you can sue is the tree, and it's already dead.
Yeah, and removed and the whole lot now. Yeah, I know. That's funny.
See, you should have called me, Paul. I know a guy. I can get rid of the, just $3,000.
You put contracts on.
But I wish I knew your guy.
We call him the cleaner.
You call him Terry, the tree lumper.
The funny part about it is, back in the day, in Moomba, we had a Spider-Man dude, right, who was a tree lopper and this and that. And he was also a kite flyer, crazy person like myself, right? Abseiler, skydiver, well, not quite skydiver, but,
extreme sport enthusiast.
Yeah.
You liked a bit of paragliding on the sport ones where you can do loops and stuff?
Yeah, I've got my
adrenaline junkie, and I'm not referring to the elite.
Nah, no, bugger them.
No, I won't. How dare you?
Oh, no.
I'm still holding someone imaginary that you're talking about in a story in my mind, Paul. Am I to throw this away in the trash? Okay, here we go.
Okay, now, he was a professional, this and that, and I had the opportunity to have him properly, with qualifications, chop down the tree, but council would not let me.
Oh. What are they going to do after it's done?
Well, long story short, still in the process of suing council.
You are? Or they are?
No, I am.
For what?
For the tree falling down on my power line.
Yeah, well.
Well, the nature strip is theirs, and so the tree is theirs, and they should look after it. So.
Yeah, but
and the power line,
corruption. So good luck with
power
that.
line on the but the power line on the the branch of the they had a massive tree right next to a pole with the power lines, and the trees growing all over it. It's not the first time it's fell.
That would be a power company then.
It was.
Yeah, not the provider.
Everything is so entrenched in being someone else's responsibility when you try and resolve something like that too.
Yes. See, now I've got 3 people involved. The people who I pay the company power, the people who supply the power, who run the lines, which is Gemma, I can say that, and the people who decide to be the council at the time.
Did they call it an act of God?
No.
Okay.
Because I already pre-told them.
No, when the tree fell over. So yeah, you pointed out that's going to fall over, and then it did, and of course they got upset because you told them it was going to happen.
That's right. And they chopped down the wrong trees instead of my tree.
They chopped down all the other trees except yours.
Yeah, I know. How cool's that? I love council workers.
Yes. Yeah. You pay. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I own this house. Don't pay council rates or property taxes, and then we'll see who owns the house. Or you don't own the land and stuff, and
when you don't own, when you own the nature strip, maybe. Oh, maybe. Back in the day, we used to own the nature strip, but then the council took it over, and then, and then we got to mow it, keep it updated, and then when the shit goes down, you can't get jack out of, although you can make stuff out of shit. But you can't get
I think you need a license for a rainwater tank because apparently, according to them, they own the rain. Like that, really? That's a bit megalomaniac, a bit bold there.
You're going to ask them to prove it.
Oh, welcome to Victoria, and New South Wales is no better, and North South Australia, North Queensland.
All right, so basically 5 of the states of Australia. Go ahead, Eagle.
A shout out in my Australian accent and hearing two words.
Wait. You got to say when your Australian accent is going to start. You're going to, because it might morph into Irish or anything. You got to tell us, or we can say 3, 2, 1, go when you're ready.
Go.
3, 2, 1, go.
Follow up after it. Here we go.
Okay, here we go.
Spread love. Spread.
Oh, sorry, you're not finished. Go.
Spread love.
Okay, and the $100 answer to what accent that was?
Nah, mate, you got completely wrong. You have no idea.
You got a hold your nose, mate.
Let's see if we can start with the classic, well-known Australian phrase of saying, "Yeah, nah."
Yeah, nah.
And we also like to point out, dear listener, 80% of local Australian sayings cannot be said on radio because we still want to be actually broadcasting.
Yeah, this is a P6. That's why we're only saying yeah, nah.
Nah.
That's basically all you got to work with.
I'll use yeah, nah in a sentence. Do you have any other Australian sayings? Yeah, nah.
Oh, I can't do that.
Makes sense to me. Makes complete sense.
Not serious. I can't do that.
He's closer to the equator. He's in northern Queensland. It's a different breed of people up there, ladies and gentlemen. They're closer to the sun. And
it's true. Queensland's weird.
And North Queensland wants to break away, but Brisbane's like, oh, you can't do that. And it's like, yes, we want to. Mainly because you don't care unless we say we're breaking away and forming our own state.
I think they should. It'd be super interesting. See what happens.
Yeah, I mean, you'll have North Queensland. You have North Queensland and Queensland. Queensland, if you cut it in half, is still bigger than Victoria and Tasmania.
Imagine if they got some kind of North and South Korea, Queensland situation going on, and they like threatening each other with nuclear war. Oh my God!
North Queensland's idyllic Eden, and then Queensland's like, oh, you can't come in here without thongs, mate.
You're not going to get to New South Wales without going through us.
We're not going to have Northern Queensland as a state because we don't want to be referred to as Mexicans.
We are the state formerly we're going to call ourselves a symbol like Prince did.
Yeah.
Speak into the speaker.
If you're not wearing a suit with shorts and cut sleeves, it's not a suit.
I've been up there. There's no one on the streets when it's hot. Everyone's at home drinking light beer. You go into the bottle-os and there is crates and crates and crates of this light beer. Like everyone is just sitting at home drinking light beer all day long.
Yeah, but that's the weather. Yeah, don't swear again, Eagle.
Yeah.
Don't make me come over there.
That is rude. I dropped the F-bomb accidentally, but that is just...
Yeah.
That is
Eagle thought was like, Cortek swore, but let's just go one more and refer to
Eagle.
a beer no one drinks here.
God.
Ironically, they drink 4X.
They still have it on tap over in the UK, which is hilarious.
Yeah. But we do have Crown Lager, which is the top bit, which is the rich man's Foster's. We just don't call it Foster's. This beer's really good. What is it? Fresh Foster's. We'll call it Crown Lager then.
Crown,
yeah. So
it's got a gold label on it.
Yeah. Let's see if I can translate a Monty Python. I'll translate a Monty Python joke for the airways. Why is American beer like having sex in a canoe? It's effing close to water.
Huh. I tried Budweiser once. I went to Hawaii and I was on the... What was the place that got bombed over there? Pearl Harbor. So I was on the Pearl Harbor cruise, not really knowing a lot of the history at the time and wondering why 98% of the people on the cruise were Japanese and kind of pointing at things and laughing. But we went to the bar and we tried this Budweiser, and it was the most terrible beer I've ever drunk. Honestly, it was terrible. I don't want to offend anyone who thinks it's a great beer, but there's other beers out there.
Sponsored by Anheuser-Busch.
I done something similar. I flew over to Hawaii and tried.
Such a beautiful place.
I just imagine you wearing a cape and flying over.
Oh, it's funny. I got to see all the volcanoes going off in the whole lot. It was great. And the pilot showed both sides. So,
there's a cider I want to try because it's an old comedy. It's an old comedy sketch from the 80s. But I'm going to say it this way: the cider is called Dickens. Yeah. I don't know if it's an actual. I think someone made a cider of it. But
everyone loves at the end of a day good Dickens cider.
Yeah. And 5 minutes of crying from laughter because it's just wordplay.
Yeah, a good Dickens. I know.
Yeah.
Us Australians went hilarious over it. What?
That's good, yeah.
I'm more partial to the old Carlton Draft because of free will. And I grew up drinking VB, and now my body rejects it. Like, what's this VB?
I still love a Silver Bullet. I love the Rushes. It's just super clean.
Oh, is it? What's the Japanese beer where it's a window and a telegraph pole?
Not Asahi.
Asahi. Yeah, that's not bad.
I heard they kidnapped like 15 incredible brewers from all around the world to make that beer. Could have been 26. They were all in a sore situation where they had to make a beer to get out of the room or something, or their leg will be cut off. That's what I heard.
Possibly he's lying.
Gah!
Making it up. All right, gents, we're at the end of this very interesting. It's lightweight, but in a good way. Planet Collingwood, where we were talking crap, but in a fun, happy way. So. I think the chat rooms are fallen asleep, but that happens at 4 a.m. in the morning. And Eagle, where can people find you? Because you're still doing a show and so on and so forth.
Well, thank you for bringing that up, Monty. I've got a good little bell just has been ringing in my little box recently, and I think Friday night I'm going to be doing a show here now, and we're going to give it a try. This Friday, I think I'm going to be doing a surprise show, shall we say. And I think it's going to be on Studio A at 12 o'clock,
Oh, you've given away the surprise.
Eastern.
Yeah, excellent.
But yeah, we'll be some other people there with me on this first ride. But yeah,
awesome. We'll wait for next week to have the report. Now, Cortek can be seen online, and Paul can be seen at his local council office saying, "Yeah, you're right."
Look at me! Blood moon's coming out. Actually, there's no rain at the moment, and there's no.
Give it 5 minutes.
It's dry as. I'm staying up to wait and see if this eclipse happens. This is the clearest night for a lunar eclipse we've had ever.
There's no rain.
Bark at the moon.
I might get on the back of the ute and go spy.
Get on it. Show us pictures next week if you get any good ones.
You don't know the size of my ute. I've got a truck with a bloody crane at the front.
Well, you need a big telescope then.
Oh, I got the big telescope.
Ladies.
Hey! Chicka, wow.
Just quickly for no, not much to it. No, you're not being ignored. I'm. There's someone in the chat room thinking I'm ignoring them, and I'm not. I just choose not to type and talk at the same time.
Who is it? Let's sing them a song.
Not much to it. Good name. I like that. Not much to it. What's your name? Not much to it. Yeah, but what is it? So you're not being ignored, my friend. I did see that. So you're not shadow blocked. Oh, there's a 30-second delay. This is going to go well. Anyway, go see the wonderful celestial moon if you are able to, or just wait online and see all the crappy videos through an iPhone and go, oh, it's all fuzzy. That was Planet Collingwood. You've been awesome. I'm Monty. I love you from afar. We'll see you in 6 days and 22 hours. Enjoy, everyone.